You can't be motivated when you don't like it. I got B's and F's my whole life because I fucking hated school. Like, I'm telling you, man, the world's got it upside down. The quickest way to buy the things that people think they want is to like what they do. But everyone thinks it's the other way around. Let me chase the money, then I'll have it, then I'll be happy. You are very wrong. Because I know unlimited, miserable as fuck millionaires. Yeah, I think the things that, when people look at people accomplishing wealth or commercial success, it's just very obvious that the fuels are very opposite. It's almost like Star Wars had it all figured out, right? Like, the Force and the dark side are actually very close. But in the end, good wins. And I believe that. I think most people achieve big things from a heavy driver of deep insecurity. And I think there's another energy, which is rarer, is they just love everything and everybody, and it just like the love drives them. And so it's a simple game of love and hate. And the more extreme you are on those two energies, the more you've got fuel to create commercial success. The issue is, if you build your financial and commercial success through insecurity and darkness, it's not sustainable once you get there. The reason there are so many people in the world that have made but then lost is because that's what happened to them. And so I just feel like a lot of people get to a mountain that they put on a pedestal, and then they get there and it's really bad. And so this is why I'm so passionate about self-esteem and self-awareness and all the shit I talk about, because I'm old enough now to have watched a lot. I've lived in a lot of rooms. I've been in all sorts of places, from the dirt to the penthouse. And it's just very clear to me what life's about and how everybody's interacting. And I just want people to be happier because it feels nice. I think it was, this is why it's so fun for me to talk about things I do. I don't think it has anything to do with me. It was all built. I'm the byproduct of my parents and my environment. When people are like, GaryVee, you're awesome, I'm like, cool. When people are like, I'm super detached from GaryVee. What did I do? I didn't have sex that night, my parents did. Right? And then my parents made me, my parents groomed me, my mom is an all-time human being. The number one challenge for everybody in this room as a parent is, are you willing to build self-esteem into your children without it becoming delusion? How do you make somebody confident but not entitled? Don't feel bad for you, feel bad for them. I don't know, I deal with it very easily. But you also have to be careful. The biggest reason people struggle with negative comments is because they believe the positive comments. The reason I'm able to deal with so much negative comments is because when people say I'm the greatest, I don't believe them either. The reason so many people are vulnerable is they have selective enjoyment of the comments. When people say you're awesome, you're like, yeah. Which means when people say you're shit, you're like, yeah. And for me, I just don't believe it at all in either direction. I'm not here for the validation or the teardown. I'm here for the process. One of the things that's interesting about loving the game the way I do, you have to love it more than your own self. This all leads to the thing I spend a lot of time on, which is we are living in the greatest era of non-accountability of all time. It's the algorithm's fault, it's your parents' fault, it's the government's fault. When the fuck is it your fault? The single reason I'm happy every day is I think everything's my fault. I'm being dead serious. If I'm unhappy, I can do something about it. You're mad at the government? Move. No, really. You're in fucking Australia. So if you really hate what the fuck is going on, leave. And I'd highly recommend talking about stuff that you're interested in, because it becomes sustainable. A lot of people fail because they talk about shit they think money will be in. The amount of people that I've physically watched in the last 4 years go from cannabis experts to NFT experts to real estate experts. I think people burn out because they're not doing their thing. Right? Like, we all burn out. If you asked me to hang a picture right now on a wall, I'd be burned out by the time I got to the hammer. Right? Like, I'm exhausted. I can work 19 hours a day. I can literally do this in front of this audience for the next 48 hours straight and not sleep. You ask me to go walk a dog, I'll be sleeping within the first second. I don't want to do that. So I think the reason people burn out is because they're not doing their thing. Normally people are not doing their thing because they got trapped by the money. Either the chase of it, or they're making, and now they're living within the means of that money and they're stuck. They're like, Gary, I can't quit my job. I'm like, you could if you decided to stop spending the same amount of money that you spend on yourself, because everything's been commercialized. People are literally like unhappy so they can buy a Louis Vuitton bag, which gives them a boost for about an hour and a half, and then they're back to being fucking miserable. Because I really am lucky. I do feel like I have Superman-like characteristics when it comes to business and life. I'm really, really fortunate. You need to really quickly realize that if you're, and by the way, most people sitting here beat themselves up and don't love themselves. You don't shit on yourself. Someone put that in you. You have to understand this. You don't hate yourself. You don't think you suck. You're not the imposter. You're not insecure. Somebody taught you that. You do not hate yourself. You do not think you suck. You just got unfortunate that somebody in your life created that framework. But before you're pissed at your mom, you gotta start the process of understanding you do love yourself, that somebody else's judgment on themselves created your framework of judging yourself, and you can get out of this fucking hole. And then once that happens, once you love yourself, it's fucking game over. When I tell you, when you love yourself, everything's good. Nothing's scary. It's all gravy. You're winning, good. You're losing, good. This, good. That, good.